Welcome to another episode of Systematic Geekology. This is a space where we seek to create and cultivate healthy conversations between those things we geek out on and the philosophical and theological questions that often arise out of our fandoms. Like, what does it mean to be human? What makes a hero? What makes a villain? How do the stories and narratives we geek out on shape how we live in the world? We are your priest to the geeks. We aren't all ordained, but we see ourselves as mediators at the intersection of geek culture and going deeper in our faith. We don't always have to agree, but we do respect each other, and we see everyone as a beloved child of God. Everyone geeks out on something, so come geek out with us and enjoy the show.
This show is a proud member of the On Us All Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, what's news? Well, I'll tell you what's news. Systematic Geekology right here with an all lightning round with my friends Jill and Kevin. It's a little different what's news episode of Systematic Geekology. We have a couple of geekologists hanging out. We have some time, and it's been a while since I've been on one of these episodes. I know Kevin's been on some. Don't know last time Jill's been on here, but it's the last time I've kind of hung out with them and talked about what we're geeking out on, which is really the heart and soul of Systematic Geekology, is getting together with friends and saying, have you seen this? What do you think about this? What are your thoughts? So we're going to talk about some TV shows and some movies and some recent trailers that are out there in the world that blew my mind and I'm really excited about. And I wanted to geek out with some of my friends, Jill and Kevin. And here we are, an all lightning round. Before we jump into the, thank you for the supporters and all those who support the show, listen to the show. We couldn't do it without you. And so I'm going to thank one of our supporters, Will Rose. Will, you got this, man. You're in the season of Lent. I just want to tell you right now, as you're listening to this later on in your earbuds, that you're doing great. And I'm proud of you. And thank you for supporting Systematic Geekology. We couldn't do it without you. Wait and review, do all those things. Go down and check out our website in the show notes. And you will not be disappointed of how many episodes we have and all the merch you can get with that. So let's hop in. Let's do it. What are we geeking out on? Lightning round. Here we are. Jill, let's go. You're first up. What are you geeking out on?
First thing I'm geeking out on, it is end of February, and I've been geeking out on the TV over the U.S. Olympics, Winter Olympics in Milan Cortano. Yeah, I think it's been so fun to watch. The quad god just had me mesmerized, and that was so amazing. And then he had the falls, and that was so emotional. I just feel like it's been a whole roller coaster. And then the gold medal hockey game against Canada was amazing. A couple days later, the boys did it, and that was really cool too. But this is like when I am my most patriotic is during the Olympics. Yeah. And I just have loved it. It's kept me captivated. Mm-hmm.
I love the Summer Olympics because I grew up a year-round swimmer, and I just love all the sports I don't normally see week in and week out kind of show up in the Olympics. And same way with, the winter sports. There's some sports I really love to watch in the Olympics. I don't see all year round. Like I may check out a snowboard event or skiing event. I like to snowboard and ski and do all that stuff. But when it comes Olympic time, I'm the most patriotic. I'm with you during the Olympics. I like to pull for the team. I had to text a friend of mine who lives in Canada and say, yep, we won. And then in church this morning, I got the text from my wife that said the men won the gold medal right before announcements. So I get up and I'm like, hey, y'all, I don't know if you know this or not. You're in church, but hey, we won gold. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. There might be some people here who didn't want to know that because they're recording it at the house. I'm really sorry. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I love the Olympics. I geek out on it too. Kevin, are you like the Olympics? Do you get to rah-rah the USA at this point?
My parents watch them all the time, so like I'll see clips here and there. But like I should have more interest, but I'm just not sports at all. I've tried like and anything, but there's like really no sport I follow. also like even with the Olympics. So, but it's a fascinating cultural. It's a cool thing that so many people get really excited about. But yeah, I've seen some clips here and there. And then I did watch John Oliver the other day, and he talked about I don't remember their names, but he talked about how one of them gave like a public apology about cheating on his girlfriend before that he was going to this drama about and he's like, and John Oliver is just like, I would love to do an entire episode where all I do is talk about all the gossip surrounding Olympic athletes, but no, we have to get into real world stuff now.
That's right. Right.
So
I would love that.
I got little snippets of that, and it was entertaining.
Hey, there's your documentary for Netflix or whatever. You just behind the scenes gossip of what's going on with the athletes. I'm sure there's privacy issues there, but come on.
Olympic tea.
Olympic tea. That's what we'll do it. So good. So good. So good. Kevin, what's up, man? What are you geeking out or another thing in pop culture? What's new with you?
So Thursday nights for me belong to Dr. Robbie and company. I am a big fan of The Pit, and it's really fun watching it week to week right now because I binged the first season because it's really funny because I had never really watched any medical dramas before. That's just one genre of TV I never really had much interest in. And partly because I've spent a lot of time in hospitals, so I was like, I don't really need any of this. But I heard so much hype about The Pit. I really like Noah Wyle as an actor because I knew him more from the sci-fi series Falling Skies about a decade ago. I enjoyed that one. It was fun. And so I was like, I'll give it a shot. And then I was immediately hooked with season 1. And so I binged it last summer. And that was like 15 episodes. And I finished it, I think, within a week or so. So I was excited to, now that I'm like fully into the fandom there, getting to watch season 2 as it comes out. So I watch it every, unless I'm at a movie, I watch it every Thursday night. And yeah, I mean, I would say so far, like season 1 is still pretty gold standard in terms of storytelling, in terms of just everything about it. And they set the stakes so high for for what was going on. I mean, this kind of spoiler, but the last half of season 1 deals with a mass shooting, and so the ER department has to respond to that. And so it's hard to like go raise the stakes above that, but they still have done a really great job with this season. It's set on 4th of July. Because for those who don't know, with The Pit, it's each season is taking place over a single shift of with an ER department. So like every episode is just titled like 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then the next week is so it plays out in real time. And I really like that dynamic because you get to see this in-depth look at an ER department in one day and all the chaos that can ensue within a 15-hour shift. And so, I mean, it's wonderfully acted. There's obviously a lot of serious, really hard-hitting drama going on, but there are moments of levity as well that they sprinkle in there. And it's just such an enjoyable cast to watch. I also saw a post recently talking about, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, because I work for a digital health publisher, and so I'm surrounded by medical content, like in a different sense. But I mean, I'm like, why am I watching this like in my free time? And like, it can be very stressful, and it's there are patients dying, and there's all this stuff going on. What is it about it that's actually like comforting? And I saw a post that said it's because the core cast, it's a group of competent people doing their jobs well. And so it's like, that's actually very refreshing. And I'm like, yeah, I can, I mean, I think anyone like, that's kind of an escape, especially when you see, the leadership in the world today and a number of other things and just dealing with everyday chaos and, whatever job you're in. So it's very refreshing to watch this group of people work together. And of course, they have their conflicts. And there's a big conflict between two of the main characters this season that started the last one. And that's still ongoing. So it's not perfect by any means, but they have this dynamic with each other. And they respond to their patients with empathy and understanding. And it's just, it's so captivating once you get started. It's hard to look away. So yeah, it's a great show all around. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I've never been into medical dramas. I don't think I've watched one medical drama all the way through just because I don't want to be stressed out when I watch it. And I was tempted to watch The Pit because I've heard so many great things about it. It's racked up on the Emmys. And Kevin, you said you're not into sports, but like in terms of like Oscar season, Emmy season, that's kind of like the Super Bowl of who wins in the competition of all things. It's like a sport in itself. But my daughter and wife started watching an episode, and I was doing something else in the other room, and then I overheard Cindy go, "Yep, that's why I don't watch these kinds of shows," because she was just like stressed out. Her dad was an ER doctor. She heard all kinds of stories, but we were like not too long ago in an ER because she fractured her ankle, and she's like, "Oh, see that over there? That's the pit. That's what they call a pit, where they're over there talking and doing those things." I'm like, okay, I get it. I can see why this is so captivating for those kind of things. But yeah, I might go back and watch it if there's time at some point. But I've heard nothing but great things. Jill, is this a show you've been watching or engaged with?
I have not been watching. I usually like Kevin's recommendation, so I'm going to give it a try. When I first saw in the Emmys that he was nominated, I'm like, wait, didn't we already see Noah Wyle in a medical hospital drama? Like, am I in a time loop?
and a lot of people call it like a sequel to ER because not only does it have him, but the producers and creators of ER are also like they teamed up again for this. So it has a lot of the same DNA, but it's again the formatting is unique with the playing out in real time, and then
I do like real time dramas.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's like 24-hour in a medical drama, and then also with HBO Max, like they don't have cable restrictions, so that's the other. It's like, if you cannot stomach some things, I would not recommend it because it does not really hold anything back. Because they don't have the filter there they have to worry about. They can be as graphic as they want.
In this kind of age of prestige television with the streaming services, and people can do a lot more stuff. You can see where they bring back some of this. We can do this in a whole different level. And I do like it that like they debut these on a certain night and kind of roll them out with seasons, because we're back to kind of appointment television. Like same way I'm going to talk about another show like every Sunday night. I'm like, yep, I am going to be there. And the same way with The Pit and others, this kind of way you can do these kind of TVs, even with streaming services, is pretty neat how they can do that.
And that's what's been really fun, because I'll talk, Jill and I will talk about another show in a bit with that. But like I said, I binged The Pit season 1, but now watching it week to week, I really enjoy that because like my sister watches it. I have friends from church too, so I love each week getting to talk about it with them and be like, "Oh my gosh, what do you think of this?" And like, "What do you think?" It's going like it's refreshing, because I think there's a disadvantage to dropping a season at once and you just consume it all and you don't get that like week to week excitement. And it's like, yes, you want it all. I want to consume it all at once, but also it's really cool to be engaged in this community where you're sharing fan theories and talking about individual moments.
Yeah, I like that too. Kind of the old school water cooler talk, where in the office we gather around and talk about you watch what happened last week, what's going to happen next. I'm glad that's making resurgence back into our pop culture.
Hey guys, Christian here. Have you ever wondered how you can support Systematic Geekology? Well, we've made it a lot easier for you by going to Fourth Wall. Instead of what we've done in the past, Fourth Wall makes everything very easy for everyone involved. Everything is in the same spot. So if you want to find a way to become a member and get access to our exclusive memberships and all the giveaways that we're going to be doing, Fourth Wall is the way to go. As well, if you want to see all the extra episodes and content that we only put to our members, that's the best way to go. Feel free to rate and review us there. You can also leave a donation or tip if that's something you're interested in. And as well, you can help support our All Reading Counts initiative that we do. All the donations that go to that go to our libraries. You also, if you really want to, it's like, man, I really want to hear more episodes about Christian for some reason. Or even for reasons I don't understand, you want to hear Joshua more often. We have episodes listed by host, and you can see everyone there. If you have a favorite host, head that way and support the episodes that they're on. You also find a link to our YouTube page. And we may be adding some special content beyond what we've promised. Everything that was once in multiple different locations and you didn't know where to go, well, it's all in that one convenient place. If you want to know exactly where to go, the link to this will be in the description below.
I'm going to lift up one. So what I'm geeking out on, what I love is that we had the Muppet Show came back. Can you believe it, folks? The Muppet Show, the old school variety show, Muppet Show came back for a one and done episode with Sabrina Carpenter. Kermit was trying to wrangle in all the crazy Muppets and what's going to happen on this show. And his the tension with Miss Piggy and whether her spot's going to last or be on the show or not. I mean, all that stuff. It was so refreshing. And I grew up on the show. My wife and I did, and I know they tried to redo the Muppets in different ways, whether it's like a Office version mockumentary or whether it's other, a Disney Plus kind of series. It has this hard thing that it's trying to do to like be nostalgic for the adults, but also bring in new viewers and fans, which some of these long-term fandoms, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, Muppets, whatever, how do you make it multi-generational, intergenerational? And yeah, so I really loved it. It was appointment television for us. We watched it. I hope it did a good job in the ratings, so they'll make more. But it was just a refreshing show. So much so that I went back on Disney Plus and started watching older Muppet shows with the Pink Panther, Peter Sellers, old school 1970s movie stars that had their whole episode on the Muppets. It was a lot of fun. So I go find it. It's on Disney Plus right there. It was a special. Sabrina Carpenter was great. Some of the bits were great. The old gang was back doing what they do best, being the Muppets there on the variety show, TV show. So it was good. Any of y'all catch that one?
I did not see it. I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't know about it, but I can go back and watch. That would be a fun one to watch with my youngest. I love the Muppet movie with Jason Segel. I could revisit that. So great suggestion. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So some of these fans of the movies, like Segel did the movie, and then Seth Rogen produced this kind of TV variety show, one and done episode of the Muppets. And so I love it that they're fans of this and they're going to kind of throw it out there for folks. Yeah, I love all the movie renditions of such as or that wacky band of Muppets. A lot of fun. Kevin, did you see that one?
I know about it. I haven't seen this one yet, though. I heard they changed the voice for Kermit in this, and it was a little jarring. I don't know.
Because he died.
Yeah, but it was like a very different take. Like, I saw some commentary of because you can get. I mean, you get anyone can do a Kermit voice, and this one felt very different. But that was just something I heard.
Yeah, I noticed it, but then I was just kind of all in. I'm like, yeah,
sure,
you had some changes. Let's go do them. But yeah, I hear you. Cool. All right, let's go back around the horn. What else? Let's see who's next. Jill, Kevin, who's
yeah, Shrinking, which I think we all are geeking out on this show. And it's been just releases on Wednesday, so it is my Wednesday night come home and who's going to watch Shrinking with me. Oh, it's just such a heartwarming story. I loved the first 2 seasons. Obviously, I love Harrison Ford and him playing in this role where he has Parkinson's and he's so vulnerable. I haven't seen him play a role that vulnerable before. It's really endearing. The whole cast, I just love. I think they handle the reality of how hard it is to be human in 2026 really well. I love the show.
Yeah,
that's great.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen this show. This is something I haven't watched.
Okay.
And it's at the top of our to watch list as a family whenever things get in the way in life and happens and other shows pop up. But I definitely desperately want to watch this and spend time with it. Because I think you're right. From what I've heard, in terms of mental health and that therapist and counseling is needed now more than ever. And then what does it mean to be human in this day and age and what we're all wrestling with? I think it's easy. So I've heard nothing but good things about it, and that it handles that topic very, very, very well.
Mm-hmm. And if you need no other reason to watch there are a million reasons, but I'll spoil just one little moment from this season that is perfect. So, and I don't know how much money they had to pay to get the rights here, but Harrison Ford. So, like Joe was saying, his character has Parkinson's. So, in this season, he takes a brief hiatus from work. He's the head therapist at the office, and he takes a brief hiatus to focus on his health. And so then when he comes back, he enters the office humming the Indiana Jones theme and says, "The goat is back." And I don't know how much money they had to like pay to get the rights so that he could do that, but it was worth every penny because I was on the floor. It was just one of the best moments of the entire series, and there are a lot of them.
Well, pop culture reference, you're saying that this is season 3?
Yes.
You know how popular it is. By this time, they're like, yep, this has legit, it has cred.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and let them do this because it's only going to help us in the long run. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and the three of us. Oh, go ahead, Jill. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, time loop. Season 3, we have a guest appearance by Michael J. Fox because he also has Parkinson's. And so he is sort of like mentoring. It's a really cool relationship. I don't want to give it away, but we get to see Michael J. Fox there too. Also being very vulnerable and very real.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox and Harrison Ford sharing a scene together. And then Jeff Daniels plays Jason Segel's dad in this season as well. It's just like, I mean, there are so many, but no, it's just such a great show from start to finish. Of like Joe was saying, it captures the realities of what it's like trying to navigate world today, but it does it in such a heartwarming way, and it's not afraid to confront both the drama, the comedy, the absurdity, and it's one of the best ensembles on any show I've ever seen. I mean, they're all if you ask for a favorite character, I'm like, I have to pick one. Like, come on, they're all just so lovable, and they all have like their own flaws, their own strengths. You have like this. Two of the characters are the next door neighbors to Jason Segel, who essentially help raise his daughter after. This is the starting into the show, but he's a widower at the start of the show. His wife died in a car accident a year before the show starts, and so he's a single dad. So they help raise her, and and the mom is just one of the funniest. The dad is one of the funniest dads. They have such great chemistry. There's one of the main characters is a patient of Jimmy, Jason Segel's character in the pilot episode, who then becomes a core member of the cast. They have Jimmy's best friend. There's all these, and what I love too, but this isn't, but what I love about this season so far is that Jimmy and his daughter are in a better place now. A lot of especially season 1 was them in this dark place, and they had this fraught relationship, and they had to navigate through that. They're in a much better place, but now they're trying to, a lot of this season is about, okay, what does moving forward look like now? It's like, we've been through this trauma together, and now okay, we can't keep staying in this loop, right? Even though we're comfortable, we also have to, and this isn't just for their characters, but for everyone, it's about embracing change and taking the next steps to, do what people are meant to. So I love that as the central theme of this season, and it looks different for each character.
I like the question of, what if your therapist needs therapy?
Yes,
help?
Exactly.
Or, if when your therapists and help and counselors or pastors or mentors or coaches become cynical and need extra help, where do you go? What do? You deconstruct that too. What happens with that? So that seems like a cool premise to deconstruct, reconstruct, even therapy and counseling and what you're looking for
from the helpers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, but this is a show. Don't sleep on it. I've been trying to get my parents to watch it too, because I think they would really enjoy it as well. So, all right. It's pretty brilliant.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Kevin, other than shrinking, what else? Yeah, what else you got going on there? You want to lift up?
Let's see. As far as newer stuff, those are the main current thing I'm watching. I did a lot on the last What's News episode, so go watch that if you haven't. And then I'm going to tonight to see Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which I don't know if you saw. I'm really excited for. I'm so excited for this one.
Nice.
This is the new Gore Verbinski, and it's an indie that's commenting on AI, but it's doing it in a mix of horror comedy. Very excited for that. So I'm seeing that in about a couple hours now.
Nice.
Other than that, not current at all, but I'm watching The West Wing for the first time. So that that's been
that's something I've never watched too. I've heard great things. I've never watched The West Wing. I've never watched an episode of The West Wing.
It's so good. Because honestly, out of all the prestige prestige dramas of the early 2000s, late 90s. There's a lot I didn't watch as a kid. I mean, I was watching cartoons as a kid.
Yeah,
like
you're a kid.
So right, exactly. So I was not watching The Wire and The Sopranos and all that, and also my mom had started West Wing last year too, because she had seen some of it back when it aired, but not all the way through or anything. But great show though. I mean, it's just like it's Aaron Sorkin dialogue, wonderful cast. And it's also kind of refreshing because not that the characters are by any means perfect, but you're like, can we please have this staff in the White House instead of
I know.
Because
Watching that.
and again, it's not afraid to confront their flaws as well. But good gosh, is it this idealistic of like, oh, could you ask for a more idealistic president? So that's kind of comforting. Why I'm like, I kind of just pretend I'm in that reality for a little bit when I'm watching. I'm
Escape
like,
that world.
yeah.
I love it.
And that touches on kind of what we were talking about earlier, that like this theme of nostalgia. Like,
yes.
Yeah, we are nostalgic for what happened 30 years ago. And we look at it a little bit through rose-colored glasses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, right? Perhaps if we had been, if we knew the things about that administration that we know about this current administration, we would be in a different position, right?
Right.
Or if we knew how bad things could get, we would have questioned systems that were causing harm far earlier than we did.
That's right.
100%. Yeah.
Cool, y'all. So before we hop into some movie trailers out there, Jill, is there another show or TV that we're missing before we get in the trailers?
Well, Bridgerton just released their first 4 episodes of this current season. And for those of y'all that are Bridgerton fans, it's really good. There's a lot of questions that are getting answered. Each season focuses on a different sibling of the Bridgerton family. So we get a new sibling this time. What's his name? Anthony. He's a bit of a rake. He's sort of a man whore of the family. And so we're getting to watch him as he acquiesces to his mother's request to find a bride because he's just giving the family a bad name.
I love those.
So rake. Yes, they use that phrase over and over. And I'm like, we should bring back rake. I know.
I tell you. Yeah, this is another show that I overhear my wife and daughter watching. I haven't gotten into, but I definitely understand the drama and the popularity of it is good. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why it's popular.
Yeah, it's fun. And they do, they don't drop one every week, but they drop 4 at a time. So we got, you could go and binge through.
I do like that too. Netflix. So all right, that's a happy medium of a lot of shows have been doing that. I think Andor did that some. There's others that will, you drop it all at once. People can binge it, talk about it. Or Stranger Things did that. Drop a handful of episodes, then we'll linger it on. I don't mind that. I like the once a week thing, but I also like just a couple of episodes at a time. And if you have time, you can watch them all or spread it out. But that's good stuff. Good things. I have to, before we hop into our trailer news, I love A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And I did watch all of Game of Thrones. There are times I really loved it and times I love to hate it. And there's all kinds of thoughts and ideas of, his books and translating to screen and hopelessness and nihilism. And am I just watching this to be like blood and sex, gore, all the things? Or is there like a drama there among these families to see, this Game of Thrones, who's going to sit on the throne? I was intrigued. But when this came out, this spinoff, I didn't know much about it. I just heard there was kind of a spin-off novella, and I was like, oh, I'll watch the first episode and see what I love this show so much. These characters are so lovable and likable. It has a different tone. It's not the heavy weight of all of Westeros. You just get a glimpse of what it's like in Westeros, and Sir Duncan is just. I love him. I love this guy. I love this character, and then Egg, his little helper is great. And so I went out so much that I love the show. I went out and bought the book so I can read it for myself. And it will dupe you because there's like 4 episodes of like, oh, this isn't as bloody or as gory or as intense as Game of Thrones. And then the penultimate episode last week was absolutely brutal. And I was like sucked in. I was like, oh my gosh, this is some of those brutal things I've seen. But we'll see what happens when I watch the final episode. But I I'm hoping that they'll do another season because I think there's more book in the book to tell. But I really love this show, and you've probably seen all the memes. You've probably seen it on social media, people lifting this up. But I highly recommend it, even if you don't, you're not a big Game of Thrones fan or fantasy fan. Just the story of this one dude and what's having to navigate, and way you can see the world through his kind of innocent, eyes is worth it.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. All right. Let's talk about some trailers. So some trailers dropped, and let's talk Toy Story 5 first, and then we'll jump in to Mandalorian and Grogu, because thoughts all around those things. So Toy Story 5 dropped as kind of a surprise trailer for me this past week. I immediately was like, oh, I love all the Toy Story movies. I've kind of grown up with these things. I've grown up showing my kids these things. And then we've all asked as a family, maybe some on the show, do we really need another Toy Story? Didn't they end it perfectly on the last one? But when I saw this trailer, I was like, of course, this is what we have to talk about. And if this is what we have to talk about with parents and kids these days and toys, then yeah. So we have, here we go. We have toys, not just first other toys in the competition, but it's toys versus electronic tablets, y'all. Yes. Yeah. That is what we're going to deal with. Every parent is wrestling with screen time these days. Well, guess what? Toy Story 5 is going to solve the problem from here on out for the rest of history. Boom. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, like, I still remember the visceral reaction I had when they announced Toy Story 4. I'm like, right, they ended it perfectly. Like, it's just like, you told a perfect story, leave it as it is. And I was bitter about it for a long time. And then I saw Toy Story 4. I liked it way more than, I thought I would. I do. Was it completely necessary? No, but I also think Toy Story 4 could basically just be called Woody. It's not really about the other. It's like a Woody solo movie, and it finishes the story with him and Bo Peep. And so, like, it works in that respect. Then when they announced this one, I was like, here we go again. Like, and to your point, I do think it's a very relevant idea to talk about, of like, okay, the emergence of the digital age and how kids are upset. I mean, I see it on with my niece and nephews. They can access streaming services, do all this stuff. Like, they can easily be addicted to screens. And so I worry about that too. So it's a relevant topic to tackle. My hot take is that I think, like, they could still make this movie, but they really should have retired the original cast. Like, bring in new toys. Like, I think they've run out of ideas for what to do with Woody and Buzz and all of them. And Pixar is creative enough where they can, if they're trying to introduce, like, the world of Toy Story to a new generation, you can come up with new characters and still tackle the same concept, because I really do. As much as I love Woody and Buzz and all of them, they've told their stories. Like, do a next generation type thing and make it. So that's my hot take, is I don't need to see Tom Hanks and Tim Allen doing this till they're 90 as they the Deadpool and Wolverine line.
Look at those hot takes. All right,
that is angry, a hot take.
I know. Send your angry emails to Kevin@yahoo.com.
Go ahead.
And he will answer every single email you shoot his way. It's not a bad hot take. I just, I'm like, I've kind of grown out of some of the Disney Pixar stuff just because my kids aren't in that area, and I'm not forced, but like, I'm not drawn to that with them. There's a nostalgic, like, we might check some things up. There's other things to watch, but I think this summer I will see Toy Story. I'll be, yeah.
I mean, of course I'll see it, but I just but watching the trailer, it didn't really increase my enthusiasm for it at all. Like, I do want to, I'm looking forward to Hoppers. That's what annoys me too. I'm like, why is Pixar not marketing any of the original ones they're doing? Like a Leo that just passed, that went through, no one saw it because no one heard about it. Like, why are you putting all of your effort into just reinvigorating the old franchises? Like, you can still do that, but highlight the new stuff you're coming up with as well. And that's what makes me sad.
That's legit. When the trailer, when the tablet says, I'm always watching, you had me. I'm there.
Right.
Jill, what's your hot take?
Well, I think it's a perfect continuation. And I love how they're spaced apart, right? Like the first Toy Stories, I was young and got that. And then later, like by Toy Story 2 and 3, I was having my own children. Then like teaching young kids with 4. And now I have like my niece, my great niece that I'll get to go take to 5. She's like a kindergartner and she'll love this. I love the progression. I love the toys versus tech, this battle. I get to see how they play it out. And then I especially love that Woody's balding. Like as an aging person myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get it. I think it's going to be delightful.
That's why I love it. Maybe the subliminally, that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm all in. Woody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I had a dog named Woody for a long time too. So there you go.
Oh, cute. I'm excited for it. Love the trailer.
Yeah. We will too. And we'll have a reaction with it here on this show.
Hey, podcast fam. Want to stay even more connected with the show? We've got you covered. Check us out on Instagram and Blue Sky, where we're posting exclusive content and bonus videos and fun updates that you won't get anywhere else. From sneak previews of upcoming episodes to bonus content, our social accounts are the best way to keep the conversation going. Plus, it's a great spot for you to interact with other listeners and share your thoughts. We love hearing from you. When you follow us, it helps us grow and continue bringing you the content that you love. Whether it's a funny poll, a quick clip from today's episodes, or just random thoughts, you'll feel more plugged into everything we're doing. So go ahead and hit that follow button on Instagram and Blue Sky. It's one more way to be a part of the show and keep the good vibes flowing. Thanks for being a part of the family, and we can't wait to see you there.
All right, last but not least, let's talk about Mandalorian and Grogu. I was so ready for this trailer to come out during the Super Bowl. And when that first Tauntaun showed up on the Super Bowl, and I was like, I'm ready. And then it was like a parody of the Clydesdales Budweiser.
The Budweiser. Yep.
Yes, it was. I was like, I was so disappointed, and I could kind of understood why they did it. But, you know, like with other Star Wars fans, it was like, oh, I just had... Once again, the Star Wars fan experienced mild disappointment. There are bigger problems in the world to worry about other than a Mandalorian Grogu trailer or it not showing up on a Super Bowl. But anyway,
they spent like millions of dollars on that.
Yes.
That no one asked for, and all wanted.
No one asked for it. So yeah. So, but the fact that they were bringing it out pretty soon after that, and marketing said, "Hey, it's coming soon." If you were disappointed about a Super Bowl commercial, not in a trailer, here you go. And then it dropped this past week. And I guess my hot take is I still don't know the plot of this other than maybe it's kind of a James Bond flick where he has to go out and solve a crime and come back and there's a big baddie out there somewhere, or if it's just season 4 of Mando on the big screen. Still not sure. I don't know who the big baddie is, but the clips that I saw, it feels like Star Wars. It feels like the Mando show that I adore and love on Disney Plus, and I will be there opening night, ready to go. So I was going to be there anyway. I like this trailer. It showed some more things. I listened to other podcasts and listened to other commentaries. I got some thoughts of what I really hope is going to happen. I'll share about that in a minute, but I really liked it. Jill, what do you think of this, in terms of your Star Wars fandom, along with what's this movie?
Yeah, I am excited for the movie. Mando's probably my favorite Star Wars content of the newer stuff. I'm very excited. There's like this, I just can't really figure out timeline, where it's at in the timeline. And this trailer didn't help me at all because I felt like it was way, way before the original, but then there's Jabba the Hutt and he doesn't look that young. So I can't.
So it's not, it's a different Hutt. This is still in the Mandalorian era, so post Return of the Jedi. But it's been really a few years since the first Mando show. But the Hutt character in it is actually the first time it was featured was in the Clone Wars animated movie. That was Ahsoka's first mission, was to rescue that Hutt as a baby, and now we get to see that Hutt grow up and
that Hutt's all musculared out, all like hulked out. Man, come on, he's grown up.
Cool. Okay. Thank you for that. I'll be there with popcorn as well.
Oh, man. I'm going on sabbatical this summer, so there won't be, I'll take just at church and life and everything, taking a break on some things and come back ready, rejuvenated. But even though, I may not be on as many Systematic Geekology episodes this summer, I'm definitely going to be back to talk about this movie. No matter what, I'll be there for that. And yeah, I think that's part of the problem with Star Wars is if they've kind of like blasted so many things out there to see what sticks on the wall. A lot of the fans, or even myself, who's been there a long time, are like, where's this fit? What's the timeline? What's this character from? There's a lot to pull from. And so some of that confusion is there. So I'm curious who's going to go see this movie, who's going to be there, who's love the show. Of course, we love Baby Yoda. People are going to just be there. But I'm hoping there's going to be an opening crawl or something to help this is where it fits. Is this after season 1, season 2, season 3, just picking up where Mando left off? Hopefully they will coach us, maybe one more trailer, maybe a couple press releases that will share with us. They get like, hey, you don't have to watch 3 seasons of Mando before you go see this movie, but here's some things to remember before you go. And Kevin, what did you think about this trailer?
I enjoyed the trailer a lot. I mean, because the one they dropped months ago basically looked like an action figure ad. I was just like, I mean, I know it was a teaser, but it was just like, I mean, we could do a whole episode on just, the last 6-7 years of Star Wars and all the ups and downs there. And when I think about ones that should have been a movie, Obi-Wan definitely should have been a movie, and I think would have been way better. This one could easily have been just another season of Mando, and I'm always a little skeptical when they do a movie that's a continuation of TV show, because that hasn't really worked out in the past in any franchise really. But like you said, I mean, this feels very classic Star Wars. I mean, I trust Favreau and Filoni. I wasn't crazy about season 3 of The Mandalorian, but I love the first 2, and and this one does look like a pretty self-contained adventure, whether he's going after a hut or and I hope it does kind of separate Din and Grogu for at least a little bit of the movie, because I want to see them kind of doing their own thing a little more, because the only time we've really seen Din Djarin solo was in that one episode of Book of Boba Fett, where he was when Grogu was still training under Luke, and so I kind of want to see a little more of that. But I also love the Easter eggs in this trailer, like I mentioned, with the Hutt character, who's actually voiced by Jeremy Allen White, which I think is pretty great. But I think my favorite part of this trailer is that, and I know this episode is not on YouTube, but I have as my byline here, Martin Scorsese is now in Star Wars, because Scorsese voices a character like a bartender there, and above the sign, you see it's titled Hugo, which Hugo is my favorite Scorsese film, so I thought that was a great Easter egg there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, this looks like a delightful, fun time. I mean, my main thing with now Filoni and I don't know, I forget his co-president's name off the top of my head, but they're now the presidents of Lucasfilm, and then there's also a new CEO at Disney coming in. I hope with all of them taking the reins now, that, and I don't know that they will, but I hope that we will get to see more risky, ambitious Star Wars projects in the future, like Andor, and a lot that Kathleen Kennedy tried to get made, and Disney executives didn't let her. And I hope that, because this one looks like a very fun, safe, perfect summer blockbuster. I'm there for it. But I also want to see things like The Hunt for Ben Solo, or the James Mangold Jedi Origin movie get made, and stuff like that is more left field and feels more like Rogue One and Andor. So that's my main hope for Lucasfilm and Star Wars going forward, is that they can have a mix of family friendly, more, familiar territory like this, and also stuff we haven't seen in this universe, at least on the movie and TV side of things before.
I like that. And yeah, I think that Star Wars needs a win. It's been a long time since they've had a movie in the theater. They've experimented with a lot of different things. There's been some changeover, writing strikes, fandom that's up and down and all around. And so I do think they need a win. Listening to Rebel Force Radio and a couple other podcasts and people talking about this, I think, I want to keep my expectations in check. I want to let them tell the story they want to tell, whether it's Filoni and Favreau, but I know there's this build up. They're going to do all these different seasons of Ahsoka and Mando, and then they're going to have a kind of a culminating movie where they all come together like an Avengers in game kind of thing. And I wonder if they're kind of skipping all the TV shows and jumping right to this. I'm curious what will be like the extra characters, whether we see Boba, whether we see Ahsoka, whether we get the team back together again, and it's a bunch of like somebody's kidnapped this Grogu once again. And so you bring Ahmed Best as that Jedi again, and you bring back Boba, and you bring back, you know, a big team where they go out and fight this. And if you were ever, I know they've kind of lost the opportunity to put the big three, the big four on back on the Millennium Falcon with Han, Luke, Leia, and Chewie. If you were ever going to do it in a movie where you kind of de-age them and do a cameo and get people talking, then why not put them on the, it's there. They're still hanging out on the Falcon and beginning this new republic. Let's put Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie on the Falcon. Let's see them. Let's see them come in and help out in some cameo way where people will be blown away. Kind of like the end of Rogue One, where Darth Vader shows up and just kicks ass for like 30 seconds. And then we're off to the races to A New Hope. Maybe this is the movie that gets the buzz going. If it doesn't happen, fine. You told your story. I won't be disappointed. Well, a little bit. But if you're ever going to do something like that to swing big, to get people talking and the buzz talking about Star Wars again, here's your opportunity to do something like that. So Kevin, yeah, will they play it safe and just do another season of Mando, or will they like swing for the fences and put the gang back on the Millennium Falcon again? I don't know.
I mean, that would be amazing. And then it's like,
so fun.
And I would actually rather them just go ahead and I mean, they already have Alden Ehrenreich as young Han Solo, but they took the wrong lessons from Solo's box office. So. That it's not that people hate, you know, newer actors playing younger versions of the kind of characters. It's just like that movie didn't do well for a number of reasons, but I'm all for, you know, I would love Sebastian Stan as Luke and like, you know, or whoever, you know, but like tell those, because there's over 20 years of story in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. And, you know, I want to see I want to see adventures of the core trio there. So yeah, and a lot of the future of that, of like the Mandoverse and like you were just saying about the Endgame type movie where they all battle Thrawn, a lot of that hinges on how well this movie does. So I hope it does smash at the box office. I mean, of course, we'll all be there, you know, opening night and
we'll do our part.
But
we'll
yes,
do our
exactly.
part. How about you?
Exactly. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Good. All right. Final thoughts about this. We'll talk more about it leading up to it. We're doing a Star Wars series, kind of like we did with other episodes in terms of working with like One Piece and My Hero Academia and other places. So we're going to work through the decades and the lore before the Battle at Yavin and after the Battle at Yavin. And we have a long series, a lot of Star Wars there, over 50 years, 5 decades of Star Wars, and leading up to A New Hope, the original New Hope, 1907, back in the theaters again, non-special edition version here in 2027. I can't wait to go see that. That'll, to build up to those things and the hype. They got a lot of cool stuff hanging out there, and I hope fans don't ruin it. I hope that toxic fandoms can kind of chill and we can listen to that. Hopefully we'll do our part. I know I'm invested because it's one of my favorite things. But yeah, we'll do our part in trying to help healthy conversations and see what it is and navigate these geeky waters with you all. Whether it's a hut that's threatening us, or a big snake towering over us, or a baby Guido. We have a baby Yoda. We got to get a baby Guido of some sort. So much fun. All right, final thoughts there on this trailer. We can put a bow on that. We could do a lightsaber.
Zeb is in this too. We got the like brief cameo from him in the last season, but I'm really excited to see him on the big screen. One of my favorite Rebels characters.
Cool. Well, let's head into recommendations. All right, Jill, of all the things we've talked about or not talked about, what are you going to recommend to our fellow geekologists out there?
Watch Shrinking. Everybody's got to watch it. It's fantastic.
Love it. Kevin, how about you?
Shrinking's amazing. I'll recommend another. I've talked about different podcasts and stuff before, but I watch Screen Crush all the time, and like particularly with all the Marvel and Star Wars stuff coming up and whatnot. I was recommending this to Jill earlier in between episodes, but the podcast Happy, Sad, Confused. If you, like us, want to go deeper into creator interviews, I was telling her about the interview with Ryan Coogler about a month ago, and it was awesome. That's a great podcast. So you get a lot of really in-depth interviews with creators.
I need another podcast, like I need another book staring at me, judging me that I haven't read it yet. But I tell you what, if you talk about Ryan Coogler talking about that, I will write that down and listen. That sounds great. I'm going to recommend The Muppet Show. Go find that one that Seth Rogen did, Sabrina Carpenter. Watch it, and then smash that like button, and then tell everybody in the world and that we need a whole season of The Muppet Show with all kinds of characters. I really want that to happen and need that in. And I heard the Rock and Roller Coaster in Disney is being changed from Aerosmith to Electric Mayhem, where it's going to be a big Muppet ride with the band. So I'm, as an Aerosmith fan, like rock and roll, there's a little nostalgia there. I'm sad to see that go, but if you're going to make a cool roller coaster with the Muppets and Electric Mayhem, I'm there. To see it. Folks, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Rate and review. Go to our website in the show notes and check out all the episodes that we have. Go get yourself some merch. Share with a friend. We thank our supporters. Will Rose, thank you for your support on Systematic Geekology. And you're doing the best you can, buddy. I'm proud of you. Keep going. You got this. You got it. So thanks, folks. And as always, remember, the geek in me honors the geek in you.
We just want to take a moment to ask you all to consider sponsoring our show. You can do so by becoming a member in the website down in the show's description. It takes a lot to keep this show running as far as editing equipment, paying the site that platforms our show to all the different mediums where you listen to your podcast, going to events. There's a lot of costs behind this. And I was thinking of the most fun way to do this ad, and I was going to do one of those songs where it's like there's a log on the lake, and then by the end it's like there's a speck in the eye of the flea on the log on the lake or something. Then I realized that would just take too long, and I don't want to bore you guys. So I'm going to list some of the benefits you can get for being a member as a thank you to those who do take some of their funds to help sponsor our show. At the free tier, you get some perks, including like free episodes. Yeah, you don't even have to pay to get extra content that goes along with our annual theme, or even in collaboration with the Rethinking Faith, we're going to be doing Rethinking Comics, and you can get that on our website if you want to follow that series. As you move up to some of the paid tiers, you get access to exclusive merch only for our sponsors. You get access to the bonus questions we do each thing, and all kinds of things that are like shout outs for all tiers. You can get a shout out on the episode. All of the tiers come with some incredible benefits. As you go through some of the different ones moving up, you get different % off of our merchandise. We just straight up give you money towards purchasing stuff. Some of the tiers just get $10 a month to buy stuff from us. We do free giveaways. Some of the tiers come with birthday presents, Christmas presents, free t-shirts for our members. There are lots of things that we do because we just want to show our appreciation for those who are able to take their funds and sponsor our show. But we also want to remind you, whether or not you can financially support the show, we appreciate everyone who takes their time to listen to this. Remember that verse that's like, perhaps you're here for a time such as this. Well, perhaps you're here for a time such as sponsoring our show, or perhaps you're not here to listen to ads, and I should wrap this up.
Hey everybody, this is Alex Matthews, and I'm just here to share with you guys about the Anazao Network. Hope you guys could check out Page and Pixel, which is a podcast about books and video games. Another podcast we would love for you to check out is Your Matter Matters. It's a podcast that puts the and in faith and science. We got Let Nothing Move You with Christian Ashley going through the whole Bible, one chapter at a time. And last but not least, another one called Some Joyful Noises, a music podcast with no rhyme, rhythm, or reason. This show has no set schedule or host, but periodically has some members from the Anazao Network posting discussions about various musical topics, everything from Taylor Swift to the music of Adventure Time and more. So I hope you guys will give those a listen because I definitely will. As a matter of fact, I'm about to hit that subscribe button right now, and you should too.